Granny used to tell me all the time, sparks when faith and preparation combine. The road been right here all this time, but you gotta look with more than your eyes. And small axe Jesse Ryle representing for I Just Star Mindset, rich forever.
A brother that I've known for a few years now, a very conscious and hard-working brother by the name of Blakk Rasta. Warm welcome to the Mindset Program.
We give thanks to the glory of the Most High Jah. Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, Blakk Rasta, great honor and good to see you again.
Blessing.
Rasta.
Same way.
Yes, sir. All right, talk to me about growing up here in Ghana. How was you brought up? Did you grow up with your parents being religious?
Well, give thanks. I would say that I've had the best parents in the world, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, I was born on the 2nd of September in 1974. It was a Monday and I was told it was 7:20 p.m. at the Tamale Hospital. I mean, that's in the northern part of Ghana. That was where I was born, and I was with my parents all the way through until I was ready to go to the secondary school. And I had my first break, as in break away from the family and go be in the boarding school. And every vacation, I came home to my parents still in Tamale.
In Tamale?
You know, yes, in the northern part of Ghana.
Okay.
So I was every time with my parents, never cut away from my parents. Lovely family of 5 children.
Wow.
Very wonderful family. I mean, we were taught about God and also taught about spirituality and all that from when we started to grow. So I would say yes, yeah, lovely family and lovely upbringing.
Pause.
See,
Pause. And where you fit in the line of brothers and sisters, your 5th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd?
Number 1.
Number 1.
Yes, the very first one to be born.
Wow.
You know, and after that, we had 4 more babes, so 5 of us in all. Oh. Yeah, so number 1, I had to set the example for the family. That's what it is.
Yes, sir.
For
yes,
real.
sir. So going back to the first question, did you grow up in a religious background? Were your parents Christian, Muslim?
Well, I was born into a Muslim family, Ahmadi family, Ahmadiyat. You know, Islam has so many different segments and parts and divisions, you know. I would call that houses of Islam.
Houses of Islam.
And I was born into Ahmadiyat, you know, founded by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, you know, of Qadian, India. You know, that's the house of Islam that I was born into, Ahmadiyat, you know. And that was what I grew up in. And I went to an Ahmadiyya school, a TI Ahmadiyya Secondary School in Kumasi for 7 years. I was in the school, so it was all Ahmadiyat, Ahmadiyat, Ahmadiyat. Islam, Islam, Islam. So that was my upbringing, and it was one of the best upbringings I could ever think of, you know.
Oh.
Very, very, very solemn kind of Islam. They don't believe in jihad, as in some other people will believe in the bombing of planes and killing each other in the name of Islam, you know. There's actually a very popular book called Murder in the Name of Islam.
Wow.
See, in those days, written by Ahmadiyya, that we used to read. It was such a beautiful book. It was written by one of the caliphs of Ghulam Ahmad. Very, very precious book that we used to read. So yes, I grew up as an Ahmadi Muslim, and it's something that I've always been proud of.
Pause. So talk to me about, because your name is Blakk Rasta. It's not Muslim or Christian. Zil. How did you make that transition from growing up as a Muslim and now transition into Rastafari?
Well, first and foremost, I grew out of religion. In fact, I grew totally out of religion. I realized that religion is a figment of the imagination of men who all came together to put up some rules and principles to be able to control man and womankind. That's what I saw. So I grew up of religion. I was tired of having to dress a certain way before meeting God. I was tired of having to put myself in a certain kind of materialistic mood in order to talk to God. And I don't want to go too much into the details of it, but I can give you something to suffice it now. For instance, you would have to be fully dressed before you talk to God. You cannot talk to God when you are naked. In some cases, you would have to wash some parts of the body before you move to God to talk to God. I wanted to develop a very personal relationship with the Most High so that I could speak to God even when I was naked.
Anytime.
Anytime. See? So having grown out of religion and grown out of man-made festivals related and connected to religion, I grew spiritual. And in my readings and my upliftment, it came to me that Rasta is not a religion. Rasta is just a certain culture, a certain spiritual movement that had to break all the boundaries of religion. So I became part of Rasta. But of course, growing up in Rasta as well, I realized that there were some Rasta people and some Rasta houses that considered Rasta a religion. See? So I kept transitioning and getting closer and closer to God in my personal relationship with it. Then I found the Bible. And in the Bible, I truly love what the man many people will call Jesus Christ, many will call Ayasos Christos, some will call Yeshua HaMashiach, whatever name you give to him. That personality taught me more about getting closer to God in a very personal way and breaking down the boundaries and foundations of religion. That's why he said, when the people approached him and said, oh, when Moses was here, this was what Moses taught us. But you come and you are telling us something different from what Moses taught us. He said, no, I'm not here to break the principles of Moses. I am here to fulfill them. So that was what I found. But in actual fact, he was destroying the foundations of Moses' religion. That is the truth. Oh, bring these fowls, bring these birds to this gathering and atone for your sins. He says you don't need to do that anymore. Oh, come to a certain place where you can be heard by God. He said, no, you cannot do that anymore. Now, anywhere you are and anywhere you stand, you can still meet the Most High and pray to the Most High. See, I was inspired by this. He was eating with the thieves. He was eating with the downtrodden. See, in the valleys and also on the hills and the mountains. That was what he was doing. He didn't build a synagogue where people have to congregate and pay taxes and things to him.
Tithes and offerings.
Tithes and all that. And he even made his own disciples to be very humble, and in humility and simplicity, they were able to walk the earth and connect with the so-called downtrodden, the thieves and so on and so forth. So that inspired me, and I felt that, yes, this is where I have to belong.
Powerful, powerful. You mentioned Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, as many would call him. Where does Selassie fit in your perspective of the movement Rastafari, along with Jesus Christ or Jesus Christ, as we read in the Bible?
Well, it's very interesting, and I love the philosophy of Selassie. Growing up as a Rasta youth, my Rasta brethren would tell me, oh, Selassie is God, you know. Yeah, the second coming of Jesus Christ, that is Selassie. But a lot of the same Rastas will tell you there's nothing like Jesus Christ. So if there's nothing like Jesus Christ, how could Selassie be the second coming of Jesus Christ? Those were the things people were saying into my ears, and I've been so interested in that. But further readings showed me that Haile Selassie was actually a servant of the Most High Jah, the Most High God, a servant and a disciple of Jesus Christ, because he himself was in the church and he worshiped Jesus Christ. He did. I mean, there are pictures of Haile Selassie that we see in his own personal space, and you see the picture of the white Jesus behind him. See, Haile Selassie was a Christian. He was a follower of the Christ, Jesus Christus. It's the truth. You can turn it upside down, try to explain it whatever way you want. The truth is just one, and the truth is an orphan. It stands alone. Haile Selassie was a church goer, a member of the church. He had a seat, yes, in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church.
Right, yes.
And he believed in Jesus Christ. See, several times he told the disciples and the people, followers of him, His Imperial Majesty, that he was not God. So I don't believe that Haile Selassie is or was God. I believe Haile Selassie was a very powerful servant of the Most High, who came from the 225th lineage of King David, and by that status he held a certain amount of power, but that power was not enough for me to call him the creator or God. Of course, I believe that we all are gods because we come from the creation of the Most High. But when we talk about the creator, and some Rastas say Haile Selassie is or was the creator, I have a different view, no disrespect. But there are a lot of other Rasta people who claim Rasta, and they do not believe in the divinity of Haile Selassie.
Interesting, I was having a conversation last night with some elder Rastafari sisters and brethren, and they've been here in Ghana for over the last 25 years. And you know, they were saying to me that in Africa there is not a single God. There are more than one gods in African culture. So to make one individual this almighty God, you know, nothing of us. That was the conversation we was having first night.
Well, yes, I mean, it is true that in African culture we have so many different gods. The god of thunder, the god of light, the god of this, the god of that. Europeans came in and taught us that that's paganism, and we have to put away that and all that and believe in one supreme God, the creator of the universe. And that is what a lot of African people have moved to. Of course, I do not look down on all the gods. At a point, they provided a lot of energy, you know, for the nucleus of our belief. At a point, they worked very seriously for us. And it depends on a man's faith. I don't want to trod and step on any man's faith, but I honestly do not follow these gods. The God of thunder, the God of light, the God of this. I just believe that there's one Father, my God, who created me and who I owe allegiance to. And I believe that when I serve a human being, I serve God. I believe that when a human being is in trouble and I save him from that trouble, take him out, I am serving the Most High. So every man, every woman is my brethren. And at the same time, I see God in every human being. No matter how bad or good they are, people can change with time.
Do you think that God is a male or a female, or God is both entity in the same?
I believe God is a powerful energy, and you can find every gender in God. God is a powerful energy, and that energy has no form. It has no void. You know, that energy is everything. You can find a woman in God. You can find a man in God. You can find an animal in God. If God has to speak with the animals, he will turn into an animal, come in the form of an animal to talk to the animal. So God is everything. God is wind. God is thunder. God is fire. That's why when Moses was on top of the mountain, he appeared to him like the burning fire. See? And he heard the voice of God talking to him like a human being, yet he was fire. So God is everything. You can't box up God and just give him one entity and say he's a male or a female. He's bigger than that. He's human beings who are still trying to understand that energy. That day when God reveals himself to humans, many people are going to be shocked. They would expect to see some old man sitting with a long white beard, and they will just see energy moving. His energy moved upon the waters, and it moved upon the skies and all that. That is the energy we're talking about. God has no form. God is neither a formed being or a void. God is everything. See?